The school blamed us for the thefts. Hundreds of lockers, thousands in stolen gear, and they refused to investigate. So we set a trap. 3 days later, the laptop was gone, and a student and his mom were in handcuffs. What happened next made the front page and sent both of them to prison. If you've ever been blamed for something you didn't do, or dreamed of exposing someone who thought they'd never get caught, this is your story. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment justice served if you think this takedown was long overdue. Let's dive into the revenge. Let's rewind to the early 2000s. I was in high school, and a silent crime wave was sweeping through the halls. Students were getting their stuff stolen from locked lockers, graphing calculators, phones, even snacks. No one was safe. You couldn't walk through the cafeteria without overhearing someone whisper, "Yeah, Sam got hit yesterday," or "My locker was cleaned out last week." It wasn't random either. It was systematic. And what did the school do? They blamed us. "Chua, you must have shared your combo," they'd say. "It's your fault for not being careful." Worse, if your stuff got stolen, you had to pay $150 out of your own pocket to get your locker's combination changed. And that wasn't just replacing the combo. It involved calling in a locksmith. So imagine getting robbed all and then getting billed for it. It was twisted. But then it happened to me. I walked up to my locker one afternoon and realized something was off. My graphing calculator was gone. Not just any calculator, TI-86. If you were in high school around 2003, you know that was basically the iPhone of calculators. 150. Poof. I was furious and confused. I'd never given out my locker combo to anyone, not even my closest friends. My friends were pranksters. We messed with each other all the time, so I kept that combo locked up tight. And yet someone had gotten in. I paid another $150 to have the combo changed, but the rage didn't go away. It festered. Luckily, my dad had a buddy, a drinking buddy to be exact. But not just any buddy. Detective Buddy. Let's call him Uncle Buddy. When Uncle Buddy heard what happened, he wasn't amused. He walked into the school, badge in hand, asking to see the security footage from the day my calculator went missing. The school stonewalled him. "Choro, there's no problem. The student probably gave out his combination. You'll need a warrant." Uncle Buddy got a warrant, and then the school fought the warrant in court, claiming it violated student privacy. At that point, the school wasn't just neglecting the problem. They were protecting it. Uncle Buddy had seen enough. It was time for a trap. A few days later, Uncle Buddy showed up at my house. He handed me a sleek laptop bag with a brand new 1000 LEPS laptop inside. "Sure, throw this in your locker," he said, "and make sure everyone knows you've got a new laptop." I raised an eyebrow. "Everyone?" "Toi." "Yep, everyone." This wasn't just a trap. This was bait with a GPS tracker. I did exactly what he said. I casually mentioned the new laptop to a few loudmouths at lunch. Word spread like wildfire. 3 days later, I opened my locker and, surprise, surprise, it was gone. The laptop, the bag. Even my 24-ounce bottle of Coke and a few pens. All missing. I texted Uncle Buddy. "Tor, it's gone." He replied, "Stand by for the sack show. Oh, and by the way, you reported this theft to the police." The very next morning, Uncle Buddy rolled up to school with 3 uniformed officers. They walked in past the stunned faculty and pulled a student, let's call him Dave, out of class. But they didn't stop there. They also pulled Dave's mom, who worked in the school office. Chaos erupted. The principal was livid, yelling at the officers, demanding to know how dare they accuse one of our own without school authorization. But the officers weren't there to talk. They were there with a search warrant. Why? Because the GPS in the laptop bag had pinned at Dave's house. That afternoon, Uncle Buddy set up a tent just outside school grounds. He put up a massive banner. "Have you had something stolen from your locker? Come talk to me." By the next morning, Dave and his mom were on the front page of the local paper. Here's what came out. Dave had used his mom's login credentials to access the school's internal system. From there, he pulled the locker combinations for hundreds of students. Sometimes he had specific targets. Other times, he just opened random lockers and loot whatever he could find. And the school completely ignored every single warning. Uncle Buddy's trap opened the floodgates. TTHE Char Justica UP, thanks to the GPS trap, They got a search warrant for Dave's house, and what they found was staggering. A wealth 12,000 worth of stolen goods, 9 separate felony thefts, any theft over $100,000, and 30 misdemeanor thefts under 1,000 each. The coolest part, because my stolen calculator and the staged laptop were on separate days and involved 2 different locker combinations, Dave got hit with both a felony and a misdemeanor charge, just from me. And that was just the provable thefts. Most likely, he hit over 200 lockers, but they could only charge what they could prove. Now here's where the story really gets satisfying. Remember how the school blamed students and charged $150 per locker to change combinations? Well, after the scandal broke, a group of 2 18 students and their parents filed a class action lawsuit against the school district. The argument toward the school failed to investigate dozens, possibly hundreds, of thefts. They profited off those thefts by charging students for new combinations, and they ignored law enforcement when help was offered. The school lost, badly. Each student in the class got about $85 after attorney fees. But the kicker? The school still had to pay the locksmiths up front, then refund $100 per student, totaling $20,800, not including legal fees. Oh, and the principal? Fired. For gross negligence and failure to protect students, the prosecution came in hot with a plea deal: 10 years del 5 in juvie, 5 in adult prison for Dave, 15 years for his mom. They refused. So they went to trial. What happened? Dave got 1 year in prison per felony to 9 years, plus 1 month probation per misdemeanor, 35 months probation. His mom, to 18 years in prison plus 6 years probation. And the courtroom was packed when the sentence was handed down. The judge held nothing back. He cited abuse of trust, use of school resources to commit crimes, the sheer scale of theft, the school's dereliction of duty, and as for me, I got my calculator back. The same TI-86 with my name engraved inside the battery compartment. It still works. It still reminds me of one of the most insane takedowns in high school history. And the best part,